Well, he did the Honda Civics, the heist cars.
Yeah.
Oh, we did the Civics, the Jetta, remember the Jetta?
Of course I remember that.
So I did the whole body kit for this car. I did this body kit.
Hey guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you? Fist bump, fist bump, fist bump.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Oh, there she is.
All right, so
20 years ago, deja vu. Wow.
So,
okay.
Wait, where were we last? Where did we leave off last?
Well, it wasn't primered yet. It was pretty much sanded down, and you said you were going to do some chemical stripper to get the rest of the paint off it. And how did that go?
So that went well. We have it on our video, and we'll showcase that on our video too. But yeah, why don't you kind of fill in?
Yeah, it was. We had high hopes for it, right, with the chemical paint remover, but it was not up to the task. It took the clear coat off. That was about it. But it's California compliant, right? So
it's watered down, literally.
Weak sauce.
Right,
very watered.
Yeah, exactly. So old-fashioned way, DA sandpaper, knocked it all back to the metal, and what we discovered was really surprising in a good way.
The body's really
in a good way.
In a good
really
way.
straight. I mean, no filler, no filler anywhere on the body.
Just looking at what I've seen from here, it looks fantastic. That story is coming up right after the break. If you're into cars, you're probably into working with your hands. I know I am. I've always been fascinated with technical aspects of cars, planes, trains, and pretty much anything with wings or wheels. Like many of you, as a kid, I built model planes, model ships, and model cars. I still love doing it up until a couple of years ago, and I just don't have the time anymore. But recently I discovered this company called UGears. UGears produces some amazing models. There's so much variety on their website, it's hard to pick just one. They have cars, they have trains, they have functional clocks, they have ships, planes, all kinds of industrial gear. It's just amazing stuff, steampunk stuff and everything. There are kits for all ages, even children. And the best part of these kits is that you can select kits that can be assembled in just a few hours, which is a far cry from my model ships that take me months to build. And what I especially love about these UGears kits is that they're so detailed. Handles that work, doors that work, hidden features that you're constantly discovering something new, and there's so many moving parts and so many surprises in every kit. And their clever engineering allows some of the models to actually move, self-propelled. No glue or special tools are needed, which is great. They can be assembled in a few hours instead of months. And best of all, right now they're offering an exclusive discount for my followers. Details are in the video description below. It's just a reminder, these kits make great gifts for any holiday or any occasion and for any age. Don't wait, pick up a kit or two and tell them I sent you.
I mean, it's got a few little, there's like a little dent here. It's like something fell on it right here, because you can see a dent here and a dent here, you know? But at some point, someone had previously filled the holes here for the Toyota.
For Toyota emblem, yeah.
Now, I know your car has a Toyota emblem on it, but we filled this hole, and of course it had some rust here.
And I can see in this light the divot for the windshield squirter, the rear window squirter.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there. So here's the thing: your car had it.
It did.
It didn't have the wiper, but it had the little squirter. So we're going to put the squirter back.
To be honest, I don't remember if I bought the car with the rear windshield wiper. Probably did, and probably had it taken off. Why I would not have removed the squirter or my body shop when it didn't.
They probably forgot.
And I probably didn't specify it, anything.
Tiny square that big.
This was removed because of the wing uprights? Is that?
No, I just didn't want a rear windshield wiper on the back of the car. I didn't need it. The car was not going to be driven in the rain.
No, the car was laser straight. Couple dents here, but super nice.
I can see that right there. Ding, ding.
Little ding here. So we're gonna. So what we ended up doing
right there, little divot. Easy stuff to fix.
As soon as
you got that rust out. Now we gotta.
Yeah, that's what we did here. That's the repair here, and of course we'll address that with filler. The idea now is you know, this is DTM primer. This is direct to metal primer, and so what this does is it locks the metal in. So now what we get to do is we get to make all the body repairs, and of course we grind all the way through this primer and make those repairs, and then we use DTM over it and then we come in and
I see you're kind of shaping this line here.
we were working on that a little bit. There was a crease in it right here
Yeah,
that we needed to address.
That was a transportation injury. That's what that
Really?
was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Made it
that-
all this way,
Yeah.
and then it got injured in
Yeah.
transportation.
Super minor. These spats fit really well. I mean, out of all the parts
These are
that we
legit
got,
Pomex, right?
I believe so.
They have the sticker on it,
Yeah.
the mark embedded in the fiberglass that said Bomex. I remember seeing that picture.
Yeah, so I mean, out of all the parts we got, Craig, those fit the best.
You know what kills me is looking at all the undercarriage stuff and how dirty and old it is. You know, and all that stuff. Most of the stuff is going to be
That's all gonna come out.
refinished and all that kind of. And that's the exciting thing about this project for me. Now let's talk about this bumper. Now I'm not expecting Lexus seams of 3 millimeters. Just I don't know what you guys are expecting, but
No, we've done this kind of already, and we're actually really impressed with the bumper.
okay. If I lift it up, and actually a pretty good line here. That I don't know
You've
what
got
it
a
looks
good
like.
line?
Yeah, I've got a great line.
I've got a great
That's
line here,
probably
too.
4 millimeters, which for an aftermarket hood is phenomenal.
No, this,
I thought this is actually better than mine. Of course, it's not completely mounted yet, but you
Right.
get the idea. Wait a second here.
yeah, I know.
My
right?
eyes deceiving me? Alert, alert. Oh boy, the body kit doesn't fit. Here we go.
What you see is what you see. So what we haven't done today is we're yeah, look how much wider it is.
It's
Holy
off. Yeah.
Look at that.
It's like you guys ordered an extra large when it needed to be a large.
And I don't fault the gentleman we purchased it from, because he did tell us that it overhangs and it's wider. You know, so we knew what we were getting into.
So the guy, Eric Rosado, who went through hell to get us this, he went down to his garage, pulled this extra stock out that he had hidden up in the rafters, because he has a car, which is this color, which has this body kit.
Right.
He didn't want to take that one off, so he said, I have another one, but it's not genuine Bonex in the front. So he was clear with this, and he actually took pictures. Remember the pictures?
He did.
So he showed it didn't quite fit, so he's thinking that we can do something with it. So, hey, James.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm pushing to the point where the fender lips. How hard
Yeah, right.
are you pushing all the way?
Okay, I'm as far as I can go.
Yeah, you got to put a little grunt behind this.
Well, I am trying to do that, but without.
Yeah. So it will go into place, but there's going to be tension.
It will. There's going to be a lot of tension.
This tab probably has to be shaped too, because this thing is sticking out kind of far. It's sticking out like this. It's not tucked under, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So if we tuck that under, that all means it's going to mean that there's going to have to go further though. So your body shop guys are going to have to deal with it. The center here where the headlights go,
Yep.
this stuff is all going to be, you know, the way everything lines up is going to be built around the headlight more or less.
Correct.
So once the headlight's in there, you're going to have to shape everything to fit that.
Well, and that's exactly what we're going to do next. Is we have to add some reinforcement components back in, and then we're going to hang the headlights, and then we're going to use all of our pictures to identify how much of a lip this bumper is supposed to have. Now, you know what I'm really hoping for, and James, you can attest to this. If that other kit shows up and it's in better shape than this, the front,
We use that.
then we're going to use it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just no guarantee.
It's still on a boat.
We don't. Yeah. They don't even know where it is. They have no idea where it is.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder what else is coming in through reports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 3 weeks ago, it was supposed to be here 3 weeks ago.
So I'm suggesting
Can
that.
I ask you another question?
Sure.
Two things. I remember the intercooler fitment, the 3-row, 4-row, whatever. I think it was a 4-row, but I can't recall. Intercooler was fit before the bumper came. So the car had a urethane bumper from Stillen originally.
Okay.
When it was yellow. And I remember there being some kind of issue with the intercooler and the piping with this kit. The other thing was, and I'll tell you this thing is going to go on here, it's going to have an under tray.
Oh, for sure.
It's going to have to.
That's easy. We can just
worried
get a
about
flat piece of carbon fiber and make a splitter or something that you don't see from the front, but
the
it's there,
floor, yeah.
giving you the aero and the protection you need for under the car.
Because even the factory one was garbage. I remember going up to Palmdale for a race. I was doing like $140 on Highway 14. There was nobody on the road. And I heard this weird noise like dragging. The next thing I knew, it was like the targa top falling off the Supra during the movie, but it came in from underneath. I was like, did I run that over?
Yeah.
What did I do? Turned out it was the splash guard, the factory
Yeah.
splash guard that was screwed to this thing.
They're flimsy.
They're horrible.
But in looking at your pictures of your car here, you could see the thickness of the bumper.
Yeah, it sticks out from the top,
Right.
right there.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell because
So-
that pinstripe is breaking it up, but
You know, so in terms of shaving the bumper and narrowing it, you know, you have to. It gets interesting because you can't do it from the center section because you have to have the headlights surrounds
Yeah.
match. And
so you can't section out of that because that would shrink this panel in and it
Correct.
would never fit the headlights.
Correct.
So all the work is going to have to be done over here.
Correct. And look what we're dealing with here. You know, so,
Jesus, how do you do
We're gonna
that?
have to make provisions for the side markers too. I just saw that. Yeah.
That's fine. That's not a big deal.
That's not a big deal. A couple holes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant to ask you, and what's the deal with the 12? What's the number 12 represent? Did you ever ask?
Yeah.
No, I know. That's a great question. The numbers on the cards delineated one thing, that they were all part of Dominic Toretto's team. Here's the problem with that. First off, there were two cars with the number 12. One was Ja Rule's Integra, because that car already had its decal package and they didn't change it, and it had the number 12 on it because it was modeled after, what was the American Touring Series that we had back in the late 1990s?
Oh.
New Speed was a big part of it. So that was one of the cars, so it had number 12. Anyway, regardless, there was an error that they basically just created the number 12 for that, so two cars are the same thing. But the big goof in the movie was the fact that Brian's Eclipse came on the scene before he was in Toretto's crew. Remember, he rolled up and challenged Toretto?
Oh, yeah.
He already had a number on his car. How does he have a number 5 on his car when he didn't even know Dominic Toretto?
I didn't catch that. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, you have to be really a die-hard fan, watch it 1,000 times to really start asking these questions. And a lot of my fans do that, which is kind of cool, because a lot of times in the past 5 years or so, people have hit me up, why do they do this? What's this all about? And I just thought to myself, pretty common knowledge.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not. Apparently it's not. And then I started putting myself in their shoes, and I was like, yeah, there's absolutely no way. There you go. Here's the red Integra. And the guy who owned that car, who built that car, was older than I am now. Bill Cole, great guy.
Wow. All right. So the reason why I was asking is it'd be cool to get the actual size of that decal, because once we do fit,
We're going to have to. We have plenty of other reference pictures. We're just going to have to measure.
go up. Okay.
So what we're going to do is we'll take a reference from these two lines over here and get it down here. I've seen a lot of replicas done with these, with the Supra, you know, and the people get the numbers way out of whack. Way out of whack. So we'll have the reference, but the other thing is, you can't start doing that until you shave the back of this bumper for the intercooler.
Right.
Because there's going to shit ton of material that's going to have to come off the back of this thing. A Modern Image won't have it. They don't know. They were just throwing stickers on cars because they were trying to get stuff done. And these aren't the original decals that were on the car. They were all black.
Okay.
So we have to refer to the movie.
Oh, so wait a minute. The car had black stickers down here?
It had black stickers.
When did you have those put on?
All this stuff was not on the car in the movie, right?
Right, okay.
So you know it's already post.
Right, we know this.
You know
but-
the tail lights have been changed. You know the headlights have been
Yeah,
changed. So
got
this
it.
is post-movie.
Okay.
After the movie, it was getting a bunch of magazines from overseas. I don't even remember which magazine this was from.
Okay.
GTI, which I think is Belgian. A lot of stuff changed. I didn't like the black decals on it because there's nothing else on the graphics that were black.
Do you want to go back to black we're going to do it movie
We're going to do a
spec,
movie
right?
stuff, movie spec.
All right, so black
Movie
detail.
spec. Because if I do it the way I liked it,
So these are black decals here.
are they?
I see black in here, yeah, they're just super thin.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's got the right headlights, so it's different.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's interesting, the running lights stick out farther in this picture. Did you ever do any work on those? See how they kind of protrude out through the housing?
Okay, so there's a story to that, and that's a good question. Go back to the next picture, to the.
That's this guy
Okay.
right here, this guy.
So if you look there, it's a little further in, and here's what happened. When I got the car back, I had a relationship with a guy by the name of Charles Shepard over at Gritty. He used to work with Kenji. And Charles was a friend of Dave Jesko and all that kind of stuff. Charles wanted to borrow the car to show it to somebody because he said this guy wanted to see the car and he'll probably give me an offer on the car and all that. And then somehow Charles miscalculated the angle of a driveway and he tore up the front bumper, right? And I know that because I had it painted right after I got the car back from Universal because it was been on off a trailer, so it was already scuffed, so I had to repaint it. Charles, when he brought it back, the thing was screwed up again, so I took it, I don't like imperfections on my cars, took it right back to the body shop and had them do that. When they did that, they put the fog lights a little further in.
Oh,
I didn't like them because I didn't like that bubble coming out. It looked ricey to me. It was already borderline super rice back that time, but you know.
Right.
Because remember, that's the fog light era, right?
I love that term, super rice.
Yeah. It seemed like they're in farther in
Definitely
this
were.
picture.
Definitely
And then,
were. But
and
another
if you look
change. another change, if I may.
After the driveway mishap?
After that, this chrome stripe, right,
Yeah.
did not survive the next paint after that.
Oh, interesting.
So what's next?
What's next is, I mean, literally bodywork. You know, we can't even pre-fit the wheels because I have to have this body kit on
Yep.
before we identify how much offset we're going to take away or add to those wheels.
Well, what about the side skirts?
Oh, that's a whole nother story. So if you grab this front side here,
Does that door need to open?
no, we
Okay.
can kind of jockey it inside there a little bit.
All right. I think this door might have to be open. You have no future as a car thief, I will tell you that.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, so there we go.
All right, now I can get somewhere.
All right,
Good
it's in,
grief.
it's in, it's in. It's not terrible.
Not terrible.
That's all right. That's okay.
Fixed.
So you heat it up, and you know, look how hard. I mean, I'm having to put a lot of pressure on that.
So it's a lot of heat to bend it.
It's a lot of heat to
And a lot of
reshape this.
adhesive.
So these likely sat around for a long time.
Oh, sure.
And of course lost their shape.
This thing is so far off from here, it's half to 3/4 inches away from the fender line.
You're like, this is never going to look right.
I'm like, this is why I've said for years I'm never going to do a replica because it's just going to be,
Yeah.
fortunately,
I mean, how long has this body kit been out of production?
I don't even know. I know they were selling a boatload of them after the movie came out for every type of car.
20 years ago.
RX-7s, Eclipses,
Yeah.
and of course Supras.
12 years.
And you don't know if this was the first piece out of the mold or the last piece out of the mold.
Yeah.
Which does make a difference, believe it or not. You know, I'm disappointed. I reached out to Bomex directly through their Instagram, and I said, hey, we want to buy a kit. We don't have that kit anymore. We don't have it here. I'll have to check with the boss. Okay.
That was the
Hey,
last year.
no, a couple times I hit him back. Hey, didn't hear anything back. Yeah. And this is the same we went through when we were doing the first movie. Some people just didn't give a shit. So.
We went through this in the fourth movie with the R34s, and we bought East Bear body kits, and they weren't nice. And we ended up having to reshape them, and then we ended up just making a bunch to fit on the car because those cars got broke up so bad
Yeah.
that
And you couldn't rely on them.
No, we couldn't.
I don't know what it is with these Japanese companies, man. Analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
They just don't move fast. They have no sense of urgency. Take a look at the websites of some of these companies. They are frozen in time.
Yeah.
It's 1997 for a lot of these companies. You look at Bomex's website, it's the same site that's been around since 1998. I'm like, really?
yeah.
And they wonder why they're not selling a lot of product.
Is it common now for people to put body kits on some of the new stuff that's being? I mean, I guess
No, everything
Our
is
Mustangs
Liberty
and
Walk
Camaros and
or
the new Supras?
Pandem wide body stuff.
Yeah, everything
That's
that-
all the hotness. This kind of stuff, relics. So do they want to even spend time to go
I'm
to
not-
the
I'm not-
factory, pull out the molds, remake it? No.
I'm not suggesting that they should. They probably know what the sales would be with these body kits.
Yeah.
Although the replica market is increasing, not shrinking, it's going
Yeah.
up. But all this wide body stuff, there's a whole group of people who don't want to have wide body stuff. It looks really cool. 19-year-old me says, hell yeah, I'd be all about it.
Right.
But 50-year-old me is like, nope, not doing that again.
Yeah.
So what's the plan? How fast is this going to happen? When do you start?
My guys are starting on it Monday, and they're not coming out of this shop until this body kit is sitting on there properly. The hood's going to take a little bit of work. We still need the stands
For the wing?
for the wing.
A guy reached out to us. YouTube changed the way you can contact people on the comments now. So I replied to his comment, and he has to reply to my comment. Then we can connect. Yeah.
Why don't you give him the info, because he's like this forensic
I've heard that
investigator.
you find
You
people.
could find him on
Yeah.
Facebook or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
He has the stands and the mounts that mount it to the hatch. So
You need the L-shaped brackets?
Yeah.
Then we can make those.
We can, but everything takes time, and of course, if someone has them,
yeah.
Yeah, okay,
fine.
so we'll reach out, so give me that information. I'll make
okay.
my effort to hunt this guy down. I hunted down another guy for another amplifier.
oh good.
That 475 that we're missing.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
a lead from a guy in Tennessee, his name is Brad. And he's an audio guy, he's an IASCA guy from a long time,
Oh,
so
wow.
he knows all the audio equipment and all that. So I sent him a DM last night, I found him. This guy's first and last name, there's like 50 people in Tennessee with that same last name. I'll show you. Brad Newsom. That is a very, very generic name.
Because that's the last thing we need for the interior, right?
Yeah, technically, well, we're waiting for the steering wheel to be done.
Right. And the interior freaking is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it came out beautiful.
I know we had the door speakers. Do we have the rear speakers as well?
I think we have the doors. I don't think we have the rears.
So maybe that's another item.
It's
we need to
academic,
find.
really, because
Yeah.
it can be Infinity or Clarion. I don't even remember. I got to look at the spec sheet.
Okay.
You know, but this looks like the speaker for all intents and purposes. And besides, it's going to be hot behind a black grill, so you can put a Kenwood from 1982. You know.
Got it.
So.
Hey, when's our V160 get here?
V160 should be shipped out next week.
Okay.
So that's good stuff.
And the backup one is Dave Jusko's,
Right.
in case everything goes to hell.
Right.
Two other things I wanted to mention while I was here. The steering wheel, when we get the steering wheel in, it's going to need the space or the collars. You know, that corrugated, that looks like rubber convolute. You
Yes.
know what I mean? It needs one of
You
those.
definitely want to tell that to Alex. He's the steering wheel guru. You know.
He knows then. So by next Friday,
I don't know if it's going to happen that fast. It took us 2.5 weeks to do the downforce kit on the NSX, and it fit a lot nicer than this. And it's just nonstop.
A lot of hours
We
to
wanna see
massage a
some
body
off,
kit.
on, off, on, off.
we want
So-
to see some wrenching. That's what the audience wants to see. So
Yeah.
the sooner we can get to that, great.
Well, we're gonna put a camera in here, so they'll get to see it. It's gonna be boring, but you time lapse it, and you'll get to see how many times this side skirt's gonna go on and off the car. You know.
Does anybody have the tool?
Parts,
Easy way to do it. You
container,
buy a
yeah.
ratchet with the proper fitting and you weld it together.
There you go.
Because it's basically what it was. You know
Oh,
those
yeah.
closed end wrenches, box wrenches?
Yeah.
That's basically what it was.
Okay. I remember it came in a little pouch, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So are you guys going to be able to shape that bumper the way you want to without the intercooler? I have a friend making an inquiry that supposedly the gritty intercooler is coming back, but we can't wait for that.
We have lots of intercoolers. I don't want to put one in there as a temporary just so we could
I
kind
know.
of pre-fit it.
I know.
It's
I don't
just,
see it being a holdup.
it's all this stuff that I'm
Yeah.
worried about. I'm almost feeling like these holes, these openings are too big based on the pictures of your car.
Once we put the fog lights in there, or the driving lights in there, whatever you want to call it, we'll get our answer, right?
Right.
This is from JZ80, 2JZ on Instagram, a hobby bat. Craig, the Gretty 4-row intercooler kit has been discontinued for at least 10 years now. Yes, I know that. Thank you. They just posted somewhere that they are bringing back the 3-row back. If all else fails, I have a brand new Gretty 4-row kit in my part stash. P.S. Those blue steel wrinkle finish intercooler pipes were standard. Later came polished aluminum. I had the 3-row in my car since 2004.
Sounds like he has a 4-row with the correct piping.
Yeah. Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
So I just texted him. The great thing about this stuff that we've been putting on our social media is we're getting a lot of responses. People are coming out of the woodwork. They really want to see this thing happen,
Yeah.
and they want to see it happen the right way. And that's the best part about this project, because I feel for the people who are trying to make these cars, in foreign countries.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And all the vendors are pretty much here, Stritchcraft and all those guys. And Gretty and all.
Yeah.
You can't just pick up the phone and call them. They're opposite time zones. It's crazy stuff. So we are really, really lucky, and this has been going really, really well so far. We have a lot more to do.
I kind of want to get Martine. Just on the other side of this wall is Martine, who is our carbon fiber mold maker guy that just does everything for us. And this has got me more concerned about anything else. All the other stuff I'm not worried about. I've been there, done that. But this shaping and fiberglass work, I may even just
I
go
know where
grab
you're
him real quick and ask him.
Bring them over.
Let me just get him real
All
quick
right.
and see if he'll come over and chat. So Martine, my question to you is, we want to know, take a look. We got it kind of hanging here. Look how much wider it is.
Oh.
So
Here's the part where he says no problem, because he's a genius.
so the question is how do we narrow it?
Yeah, the problem is when they made that one has to be a copy, because when
Yeah.
they made a copy, they use the bumper. So that's why it looks wider, because the plastic goes,
Of course, it's bigger.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
What's our solution to fixing this? Is it best for us to, how do we narrow it without compromising the headlight?
how do we
space?
push this in,
Because look, I'm pushing all the way,
right?
and
And I'm pushing, and it's just not gonna go.
So when you push the bumper,
It
you're gonna
strains
move this car.
Yeah, you're gonna put strain on it too.
Yes.
It's gonna go like this, right?
Yeah.
And the fibers start to come apart, and it becomes fragile. So it becomes difficult.
Yes, that's the problem. When you move right here, it's gonna move right here too.
right.
We have to make some cuttings. like a
Multiple cuts?
Yes, a little bit cut it,
Okay.
and then move the bumper
And reposition it?
and then yes,
And then fill it in.
yeah,
Okay.
So he's making pie cuts
yes,
to relieve the stress.
yes,
Like you would in a piece of metal?
Yes,
Right. Well, I mean,
a
that
lot of
makes,
cuts.
that makes sense.
Maybe like 5 cuts right here to move the bumper like that. Yes.
And then Martine, what about these skirts? Because look, they've been sitting for years and years and years. But you know, these will bend back, right? I mean, you could heat those up.
Yeah, that's the problem when you get past
We can tell
from too far.
because the Bomex
That's the problem.
stamp is not on the
sitting
inside.
too long.
Yes, you see it for a long time, wherever, in the sun or something, happen.
Are these salvageable?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So here's the thing. I may. Do you guys have the time? What's your schedule like? If you're down for it, I'll just commission you guys to do all the work on the front bumper. I mean, our guys can do it. It's just you're the fiberglass guys, right?
Okay.
And I may just have what I'll do is I'll put all the finish header panel stuff on the front end. We'll hang the headlights, and if you guys can just come over here and go to town on that front bumper and these skirts, and then my guys will start doing all the body prep work.
Yeah.
Is that
You can
cool?
do it. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
problem
Love it, man.
solved.
Always say
That would be
that.
awesome. All right,
Why?
whenever you want to start, if you want to start
Okay. By
today,
next week.
Monday,
Next
whatever.
week. We're gonna start next week.
So as you guys probably know by now, Martine is here at our facility. We share some space with him, and he specializes in this kind of work. I mean, God, you guys have done stuff for BMW. You've done
Yeah.
stuff for all the manufacturers.
Lamborghinis, Ferraris.
Been around for a long time. He's really the perfect guy to do this work.
I think it's a proper plan. I mean, if fiberglass is anything like metal, and you're taking little slivers out of this thing to just kind of move it around, I don't think anybody would notice that the curvature is a little more extreme.
Well, we can make all those modifications. You're going to have access to all of our photos.
We're gonna cut it and make to fix and then
just
reshape it again.
Yeah,
the
reshape
shape-
it.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to sanding or grinding or whatever we need. We can do that on
And
the
then I'm
bumper.
probably going to have you. I've got the lights. I'm going to
Yeah,
probably
they're
have
gonna
you
need
make a
the light.
bracket
I need everything.
so you can hang the brackets. We have the turn signals, so you can make all that stuff. And then the only thing we have to add is the side marker lights. They removed the side marker lights, but that's easy. You know,
Oh, okay.
it's going to free our guys up
Yeah.
for doing all the other stuff. Because here's the problem, right? We got wheels. We actually found a set of rims.
Oh,
The problem is they're the wrong offset.
oh,
And so we can't make the offset correct until the body kit's on.
oh.
So we can't do anything with our suspension and our
We need to
wheels
wait.
until the final body kit is hung on
Is
the
ready.
car.
Oh, yeah.
And then we could drop it on the ground, put its weight on it, and see exactly what our offsets are going to be. So, you know,
Or you can buy the set that I saw yesterday for $15,000 that were already set.
where did you see those at?
eBay. There they are.
I love your finger pointing at the number.
That's not mine. That's
Oh.
Shahar, my buddy, funny buddy. Shahar said, "Hey, you needed a set of wheels? Here's some 19 inches for $15,000." I said, "For $15,000, we could build them ourselves through CNC machining."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You
For
know,
many,
you
many
know,
years.
Lerny and Billy, no?
Oh, yeah.
So those,
Yeah.
because Billy made this body kit, I
Of
remember
course,
that.
they were very smart guys, right?
Yeah,
they
because-
went on to a 3D Designs or 3D
No,
Carbon
because
or
Billy made this body kit because I saw when Billy made this
He did.
body kit, and then when he did this body kit, when he designed this body kit, I was laminator, so I laminated this body kit for a lot of times.
Wow. That's
Crazy.
cool.
Yeah, because I was a laminator for like 11 years, so I did this body kit myself. I did a lot of body kits myself.
Well, he did the Honda Civics, the heist car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did the Civics, the Jetta. Remember
And he
the
did
Jetta?
Of course, I remember that.
So
And he
I
did
did
them for
the
the
all
movie.
body kits for this car. I did this
Yeah.
body kits.
Yeah,
I
they-
laminated by hand.
You laminated by hand?
Yes.
Good grief.
Yes.
So it's so weird now. Here we are, 20 years on, and the people who were worked on the first movie cars are now working on on these replica cars now. Same people.
Funny
So our
stuff.
interior guy, our audio guy, and now Martine.
Yeah. But I'll put the hood on hinges and we'll get all the stays and all the rubbers installed on it too. Well, that just freed up a lot of time, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, so by Christmas time, we should have the body kit fitted, and we'll be ready to start right after.
Correct.
On the hardcore stuff.
Correct.
Final body skin prep.
Yeah, come the first of the year, the plan is to have it over at our shop, at the paint shop, to get it prepped for paint.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a good plan. I mean, and everybody has to realize that it's the holiday season, so.
yeah, for sure.
And there really is no deadline.
Correct.
I mean, obviously we want to have it in time for show season, but once we get the motor back, a couple of weeks to put all that stuff together,
Right.
get that manifold going.
Yep.
So maybe end of January we'll be getting close.
Oh, I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
The best day is going to be when we take it down to Modern Image to get the graphics on. Same
gonna be a
company who
fun
did the original cars. That's going to be a good day.
That's going to be cool.
People will be driving down on the highway and seeing this car. It lives again.
All right, so it sounds like we've got a great plan for next week, leading into the first of the week, sorting out the body kit, which is going to really give us a huge jump on things. So, right?
Yep, here I am 7 episodes in and I haven't got my hands dirty yet. We got to fix that.
We can fix that.
Okay, we can fix that. Let's do that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to tune into Just Driven's channel.
We appreciate you guys commenting on anything you see on this video, and we certainly hope that you give us a thumbs up if you like the content, and you know, please subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget Craig Lieberman's channel as well.
And of course, don't forget to watch my channel and subscribe and give us comments below. Tell us what we're doing right, tell us what we're doing wrong. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.